Imagine holding a device in your hand that could predict earthquakes, or a machine capable of delivering clean energy with zero emissions. Now, imagine both of them buried under decades of dust, forgotten by history. Throughout history, groundbreaking inventions have surfaced, promising to change the world. Yet, for reasons that will shock you, many of them vanished into obscurity. Why were these technologies abandoned, and could they make a comeback? Earthquake predictor, the seismoscope. The year was 132 AD, and Zhang Heng had just unveiled an invention that baffled even the brightest minds of his time: the seismoscope. It looked like a decorative bronze urn adorned with 8 dragons, each holding a small ball in its mouth. Beneath the dragons, 8 toads sat ready to catch the falling balls. At first glance, it resembled a piece of ornate art, but its function was revolutionary. When an earthquake occurred, the seismoscope's internal mechanism, a series of pendulums and levers, would sense the seismic waves and release a ball into the toad's mouth corresponding to the quake's direction. Astonishingly, the device could detect earthquakes happening hundreds of miles away, even when the tremors weren't felt locally. But why was it forgotten? At the time, there was no infrastructure to act on this knowledge. Knowing the direction of an earthquake was impressive, but without the ability to warn or protect people effectively, the invention's true potential remained unrealized. Fast forward to today, and we're still chasing the dream of accurate earthquake prediction. Scientists are using satellites, AI, and complex algorithms to achieve what Zhang Heng's invention hinted at nearly 2,000 years ago. If we revisited his seismoscope with modern technology, could it inspire new breakthroughs? The Wardenclyffe Tower, Tesla's dream. Nikola Tesla envisioned a world where energy flowed freely, unhindered by wires or borders. His Wardenclyffe Tower, constructed in 1901, was the embodiment of this dream. Standing 187 feet tall, it wasn't just a tower, it was a beacon of limitless potential. Tesla's plan was audacious. The tower would transmit electricity through the Earth and the atmosphere, making it accessible to anyone, anywhere. He believed in a future where people wouldn't need power lines or expensive infrastructure, just a receiver to harness the energy around them. But the industrial titans of the time weren't interested in free energy. J.P. Morgan, Tesla's primary investor, famously asked, "If anyone can draw on the power, where do we put the meter?" The project lost funding, and the tower was dismantled. Tesla's vision faded into obscurity, dismissed as the work of a dreamer. Today, the idea of wireless energy isn't as far-fetched as it seemed in Tesla's era. Companies are experimenting with charging devices over short distances and transmitting power to remote areas using microwave beams. Imagine where we'd be if Tesla's Wardenclyffe Tower had succeeded. Would energy still be a commodity, or would it be a universal right? The Dynasphere. The 1930s were a time of bold experimentation, and the Dynasphere was no exception. Designed by J.A. Purves, this giant monowheel vehicle looked like something straight out of a sci-fi comic. It consisted of a single massive wheel with a driver's seat, engine, and controls nestled inside. Purves claimed the Dynasphere was the vehicle of the future, efficient, innovative, and unlike anything else on the road. Early demonstrations proved it could reach speeds of up to 30 miles per hour and turn heads wherever it went. However, it had one major flaw: stopping. The physics of a giant rolling wheel made braking a risky challenge. Despite its failure to become a practical mode of transportation, the Dynasphere inspired a wave of innovation. Concepts like self-balancing vehicles and gyroscopic stability have found their way into modern inventions like Segways and electric unicycles. Could a modernized version of the Dynasphere solve today's transportation challenges? The Chronovisor. If you think time travel is just a fantasy, wait until you hear about Chronovisor. According to Father Pellegrino Ernetti, this mysterious device could peer into the past by detecting and reconstructing electromagnetic waves left behind by historical events. Imagine watching Julius Caesar's assassination, or witnessing the construction of the Great Pyramids, all from the comfort of a laboratory. The Chronovisor's existence has never been proven, and many dismiss it as a hoax. But the underlying idea isn't entirely outlandish. Scientists today are exploring ways to reconstruct the past using technology. For example, sound waves can leave physical imprints on objects, and AI is being used to analyze these traces to recreate historical sounds. What if the chronovisor wasn't entirely fiction? Could we use advanced quantum computing and AI to piece together fragments of history? And if we could, how would it change the way we understand the past? Or the truth itself? Airships, the Zeppelin era's forgotten glory. Before planes dominated the skies, airships were the pinnacle of luxury travel. The Hindenburg disaster in 1937 cast a long shadow over these majestic giants. But let's not forget their potential. Airships were eco-friendly, capable of carrying heavy loads, and offered breathtaking views during travel. Modern advancements in materials and safety systems are sparking a renewed interest in airships. Today's airships use non-flammable helium and lightweight composites, making them safer and more efficient. Companies are exploring their use for transporting goods, monitoring remote areas, and even luxury tourism. Imagine floating across continents in a modern airship, with panoramic windows offering views that planes can't match. It's a slower, more serene way to travel, one that could redefine transportation in a world focused on sustainability. Liquid fluoride thorium reactors, LFTRs. Nuclear energy is often viewed with skepticism. But in the 1960s, scientists developed a type of reactor that could have changed the game: the liquid fluoride thorium reactor, LFTR. Unlike traditional reactors, LFTRs used thorium, a more abundant and less dangerous element. They were safer, produced less waste, and couldn't be weaponized. So, why didn't they take off? During the Cold War, uranium reactors were favored because they produced weapons-grade plutonium, a priority for governments at the time. Thorium reactors, despite their benefits, were left in the dust. Today, as the world faces an energy crisis and the urgent need for cleaner power sources, thorium reactors are being revisited. With modern technology and a shift in priorities, could LFTRs finally fulfill their promise of safe, sustainable nuclear energy? The graphophone, the forgotten audio revolution. Before the world was captivated by vinyl records, cassette tapes, and CDs, there was the graphophone. Invented in the 1880s by Alexander Graham Bell's Volta Laboratory, the graphophone was an advanced successor to Thomas Edison's phonograph. While Edison's phonograph used fragile tin foil to record sound, the graphophone introduced wax cylinders, more durable, higher quality, and reusable. But it wasn't just the recording medium that made the graphophone revolutionary. It also had an electric motor, a significant upgrade from the hand-cranked phonographs of its time. This made the device easier to use and paved the way for automated recording and playback systems. So why did the graphophone fade into obscurity? Partly because it was ahead of its time. While its innovations were groundbreaking, it was expensive, and mass adoption wasn't feasible in an era when recorded sound was still a luxury. Moreover, competition in the audio recording market was fierce, with Edison's phonograph retaining its iconic status despite being technically inferior in some ways. All these inventions have one thing in common: they were ahead of their time. Politics, profit motives, or societal resistance buried them before they could thrive. But here's the twist: many of these concepts are being revisited today. Tesla's wireless energy? We're inching closer with modern advancements. Zhang Heng's earthquake predictions? AI might finally crack the code. Abandoned technologies are more than just relics of the past. They're blueprints for the future. They remind us that innovation doesn't always follow a straight path. Sometimes, the world isn't ready for brilliance. Want to see more mind-blowing stories like this? Hit subscribe or check out the next video.